What's up, you guys? Welcome to Fightful. I am Sean Ross Sapp, here with a name you know. How could you not know him? My God, he is all over the place. One of the biggest stars in the wrestling world. We got Joe Hendry here. Joe, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, love having you. I remember the first time we talked was about almost 5 years ago from right now. It was during the pandemic.
Wow.
Uh, And my lord, things have changed for you since then.
Yeah.
We're no longer home, and you are certainly no longer home. You are all over the place, including Mexico this week. How was the trip for you?
Well, I had to go to Mexico. The Mexico's in the song, so I had to go there.
Yes.
But yeah, it was honestly incredible. It was like the reaction in Mexico was beyond anything I could have expected. The roof blew off the place, which was, it's as you like to give you an idea, in the last year, a year ago, I had 19.8 thousand Instagram followers, and I have over 500. So it's like the
Insane.
growth has just been insane. So, but with that growth, you get a lot of good comments, but you also get more criticism than you're used to. But
Sure.
to be in the live arena and to hear the reaction from the fans, that really just reminds you, like, right, we're on the right path here. We got to keep pushing forward. And so it was a huge honor and a blessing to get that reaction in Mexico, and I'm super thrilled about it. Triple Mania was, if you think about it, to do Bound for Glory. So I was in the world title match at Bound for Glory. I was in the Royal Rumble, wrestled Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and now done Triple Mania as well within a calendar year, which is a huge honor and a privilege.
And I mean, you are no stranger to going viral, specifically over the last year. But even before that, like that would happen fairly regularly for you, where things that you would do would break through. But now it's going viral in a different language as well, because that, like, your version, your Spanish version of that, like, went crazy online.
It did. It did. Listen, there were two objectives in Mexico. One of them was unexpected, which was the Spanish version of the song was even a surprise to me. I got to the building because I knew the version of the song that Easy Band had done. I thought it was super cool, but AAA had actually arranged it so that we would use it in my entrance and it would transition into my own, which was super cool. Second objective was film content with Mr. Iguana. I'd say that was
Oh
a
yeah.
successful weekend right there.
I mean, like, this, you could tell that guy was going to be a hit with the American audience for sure. Like, he
Yeah.
was. I am just, I can't wait to do giveaways for the iguana puppet that will inevitably be dropping uh with hopefully soon.
Hey, I'm there for it. I'm ready to get this tag team going.
I mean, that was the natural thing too. A lot of people were immediately like, let's get those two on the same screen within the same camera, and you made it happen pretty quickly.
We had to, but look, I think that we someone has to book me and Mr. Iguana in a tag match. Unless there's an
Absolutely.
allergy to money going on, or I think we got to do that.
Well, you're not just there. You're also in Pittsburgh, UPMC Events Center, June 20th and 21st. I mean, your world tour continues. It's not just the song. You are all over the place. Have you wrestled in Pittsburgh before?
Yes, yes, I have. I've been here before. I think I might have even been here with Ring of Honor, actually, first of all.
Okay.
And I do really like Pittsburgh because it kind of reminds me of Scotland. Like the greenery reminds me of back home, so that's super cool. Also, Kurt Angle's here.
Of
Had the
course.
privilege of wrestling Kurt in 2016, so a lot of great wrestling heritage here. So yeah, always a privilege to be here.
We encourage people definitely check out that show. But you mentioned Kurt Angle, and obviously he has that incredible amateur background. One of the things I always loved about you was that you stepped into that world, but you did have a judo background growing up, correct?
Yeah, so I did judo. I started judo at like 6 years old. I quit around 13 to do like acting classes, and then I got into music. And then when I was about 18 or 19, I got back into judo pretty seriously. I was one of the training partners for like there was a really high level team there, and I never went to the Olympics or anything like that, but I trained with those guys fairly frequently. So I got to a pretty decent level judo, got my black belt, moved on, did university, and then after becoming a pro wrestler, I was very dissatisfied with the way that I was being booked at the time. So I was like, right, I have to go out there and legitimize myself. So at 26, 27, I went out there and started amateur wrestling and won the freestyle and Greco-Roman championships in amateur wrestling in Britain, and competed in the Commonwealth Games as well.
That is incredible. And judo specifically, like I don't think that the general public that doesn't know what judo is has any idea of like how violent and physical it
Oh
is.
my God, dude. Like watch judo throws and it's like taking a bump on the floor. Like I look
Yes.
back and I'm like, I can't believe that I used to do this for free and bump like
Yeah.
that 30 times in one day. I honestly can't believe it. Pro wrestlers are tough, but judo players or judoka, as one would say, damn, they are a different animal.
You could always tell, like in our catch wrestling gym, when somebody was a judo guy, because they'd come in, it would always be the older guy with his fingers taped up heavily
Yeah.
from where they had been
Oh yeah.
dislocated from the gi and all that.
Yep. Look.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It's rough, right?
Oh, the
Yeah.
stereotype lives.
Yeah.
But
It's
like,
rough, man.
did that help you transition to wrestling? I mean, you got to know how to fall in some sort of way if you're going to last any length of time in judo.
Yes, I knew how to bump immediately because of judo, so that was a huge advantage. And you know, just the way that I wrestle now, the way that I wrestle now is very much for the biggest reaction from the
Sure.
audience and to drive the story forward. So I do a lot less of like the mat wrestling that I used to do, and I miss it sometimes. And I'm just waiting for like the right moment to kind of reintroduce it to show people what I actually can do with grappling. Um, but yeah, that is it certainly did help with professional wrestling. And also just having the confidence to like handle myself if things ever go south in the ring as well.
And I mean, I think I spoke with you a year ago and I was pushing like I want to see Joe Hendry in Bloodsport because there's a lot of people
Yeah.
that had no idea of that specific background. And I am a geek for the crossover stuff. And like I look at that and I'm like, man, a
I
guy
you
his
know
size with a judo background.
Yeah, I would love to have done it. Unfortunately, there was a period of time where I wanted to do it, but Bloodsport wasn't ready to have me, and then
Sure.
everything blew up, and then we couldn't make the dates work out after that. But my plan was to convince Josh Barnett to allow me to be in Bloodsport. And to be fair, he did say he says, "Hey, you're on the list, man," but we just
Mhm.
didn't get to the point where it matched up. I'm super sad that I didn't get to do it. I would love to do Bloodsport if I could do if there's one independent booking that I could do if we could, because right now I'm super busy, but if there's one independent wrestling show that I could do, it would be Bloodsport. Like me and Josh Barnett have been talking about this for years now, so I would love to make it happen. I think people would see a different side of me. I think it would be super fun. But I actually planned, believe it or not, before I was signed, my plan was I was going to try and win the catch wrestling world
Oh,
championship.
I
This
love
was
it.
probably, and I really like now the competition level is way higher, but at the time and this is when I was at the peak of my amateur wrestling career, I really felt like I had a good shot. So that was going to be my plan, was to really get the attention of Josh Barnett by winning the catch wrestling world championship. I know it sounds super easy for me to just say that, but people thought me saying the same thing about winning the British championship for amateur and Greco-Roman was ridiculous. It's just how my brain thinks. When I set my sights on something, I just go and get it done. I'm not
I
afraid
love
to
that.
say crazy things like that.
I love that. I believe you and I had also spoke in the past about your connection to Chael Sonnen because
Yes.
he was aboard supporting you well before many others were.
I think it might have even been um I honestly want to say 2015.
Man, he was he's often ahead of the curve as well.
Chael knew back in 2015. Yeah,
That's
2015 is
wild,
when we
man.
first spoke. Chael was actually very much. We were very close to his company, Bad Guy Inc., being the first distributor for my shirts. That
It's
deal very nearly
incredible.
happened. But yeah, Chael's been very helpful to me over the years. He helped me write some promos and things like that. So Chael has his fingerprints on the pro wrestling industry for sure.
That is incredible. Another person who obviously has their fingerprints on the world of pro wrestling, Randy Orton, who had a big say in wrestling you at WrestleMania when the original plan didn't work out. I mean, that was a lot of the reporting that we had done. We're like, Randy wanted Joe Hendry. How did it feel to first when you were approached with that? And it's like, yeah, Randy wants you, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. I've always had my belief on what makes a good pro wrestler. Like sometimes you'll see GIFs and things like that on Twitter, and people are like, oh, that move looks awesome. But sometimes, like us as pro wrestlers will know what we're looking at and think, oh, that wasn't a safe landing, or that looks dangerous. And no matter what anybody wants to say about me, like I pride myself on not hurting other people and being a safe wrestler and being someone that you can book 1,000 times, and all 1,000 times I'm not going to hurt somebody, you know. And I really think that played a factor. So my belief in looking at, like, for me, looking after your opponent is absolutely paramount to being a professional wrestler. And I really feel like, you know, having the ability to wrestle Roman in the Rumble and Randy at WrestleMania, I feel like my commitment to that was rewarded. That's, I don't know, but that's what my gut tells me. Also, I think that Randy has obviously unbelievable instincts for the professional wrestling business, and I think he knew it was going to be a great reaction. And you know, I was honored to have that moment at WrestleMania. And you know, I know there's a lot of controversy around the moment, but no one can take away from the fact that the TNA World Championship was on display at WrestleMania. Also, the spin into the RKO was made a tops trading card. It was, if you look at the numbers on the clips on social media, and that moment and my involvement with WrestleMania was up there with anybody on the card. And you know, like I say, my shirt sold out multiple times. I think, you know, I proved a lot at WrestleMania when it came to the business side of things, and Randy was and Triple H and the team at WWE and also TNA Wrestling, all parties involved, put me in a position to succeed and to do that, and it was an honor to do it, and I was happy to contribute. And also, it was like I was in the back, you know, and I was watching. Randy went out first. I was watching the video clip, and I was like, man, I'm in a featured match at WrestleMania. And I was watching the video package, and that kind of showed Randy's career, and that's when it hit me that, like, wow, I'm being really entrusted with a serious piece of business right here. And then, as Triple H mentioned in the press conference, he came over to me and he said, and like I said, I don't mind saying this because he shared it as well, but he told me, he was like, listen, you'll do more of these, but this one, you know, you'll have fun. The others will be higher pressure, but this one will be fun, you know. And it
Yeah.
really was. And I was just very honored and privileged to be a part of that event, to represent TNA, and I'm thankful to all parties involved for allowing it to happen.
A nice rule of thumb or benchmark that we use to gauge like when something really blows up is 1 million YouTube views. Obviously, other socials, it's far more difficult. Almost every time you've been on a prominent position in WWE, it's blown up past that, like from WrestleMania to the Royal Rumble to I believe when you showed up in NXT as well, No Mercy, even like all those did exceedingly well. So I mean that is something that cannot be ignored, in my opinion.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I, like you said, the debut of me in NXT was WWE's most watched video on X for 2024, and I take a lot of pride in that. But yeah, I'm really proud of those numbers, and I'm thankful to both TNA Wrestling and WWE for putting me in a great position to deliver.
Well, we're thankful that you gave us so much of your time today. We encourage everybody check it out. June 20th and 21st in Pittsburgh, the UPMC Events Center. You can also check out TNA Impact every Thursday night, as well as our post show. Joe Hendry, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
Until next time, my friends, we are out. If you're a wrestling fan and you're frustrated with all the services you need to watch all the different wrestling shows, Fightful has your solution with nordvpn.com/Fightful. Change your virtual location with just one click, and you'll be able to watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and PLEs on one Netflix account. You'll also be able to get a lot of pay-per-views at a much more affordable price than you do here in the United States. This is a must-have for wrestling fans. That way you don't have to have 7 different accounts to watch all of the shows that you want to watch. In addition to that, they have a great 30-day money-back guarantee and an incredible deal right now going on. But that's far from it. You can protect yourself on their VPN service, the fastest in the world, shield your data from snoops and criminals, protect yourselves on public Wi-Fi, and it's available on all your devices and operating systems. NordVPN.com/Fightful.